Person just almost UX, and this is rods from God. Real or myth? Rods from God is theorized weapon that does not officially exist. In 2003, the US Air Force proposed Project Thor. Why are you talking about Thor? America's mostly Christian, right? I guess there you go. Thor, since then, this concept has been seen in the Call of Duty Ghost games as well as G.I. Joe movies. Okay. Obviously, I think I kind of know what they're talking about. They're going to drop rods from the space or something. It's going to be interesting. This is by the channel of Electrician. I'm guessing because he's talking about this, there's a high chance that this might exist. Because many theorized weapon exist that doesn't officially exist because it's probably not. He's not talking about those. So I'm guessing he's talking about this because there's a good chance it might exist. Why not? Makes sense. Many things exist which countries don't officially acknowledge, right? People have no idea about this. Like some powerful countries like USA and others have like some of the weapons that like not conventional, you can't even think about, but they probably have it as a last resort thing, and they're not gonna say it. So that's the one thing I think about when I think about World Wars. If World War III breaks out, one thing would be surprised that many things would pop out that we wouldn't even have imagined. We're like, oh, wait a minute, where'd that come from? Yeah, we had that all along, right? We didn't officially acknowledge it, but there you go. So yeah, I love Electrician and all the things he does. I watched the recent video, Christmas eggnog story, which was really insane. I like how the academy just went insane in that tavern thing. What is the difference between tavern and pub? I don't know, but there you go. Yeah, that was good. So if you haven't seen that, check out the link in the description. There you'll find it in the end card, I guess. Yeah, our playlist I created for Electrician reaction playlist. So, that way it's easier for you to find all my Electrician reactions, I guess. And yeah, let's go this one.
Alright, before I even start this video, I have to say this is not real. Allegedly. Some people think it is, some people think it isn't. I'll give you my opinion at the end. So, today we're talking about kinetic bombardment, which is just the United States Air Force's rebranding of the oldest unhealthcare technique known to mankind. Dropping heavy stuff on people that you don't like. Buh, can't swear for the first 30 seconds. Buh. You see, it all started in 1967 at the height of the space race. Pretty much all the countries on the planet got together and...
Okay. And this also treaty bans the stationing of weapons, mass destruction, space and moon. Oh yeah, basically this is space treaty. Nobody can own space, equivalent to nobody can weaponize space.
Signed a treaty that basically said we're not going to drop WMDs on each other from outer space. Yes, America and the Soviet Union both signed this, surprisingly. Fast forward.
Intercontinental ballistic missile don't count as space. It enters space in the mid of its flight, so that doesn't count. I guess you didn't launch it from space, so yeah.
To 2003, and the American Air Force decides they're going to lose all of their chill. They crack open the rulebook and start looking for loopholes. That's when they realize that a weapon of mass destruction is defined as a nuclear weapon, a biological weapon, or a chemical weapon. So they proposed making a weapon system that was none of those things. Basically, they wanted to put a satellite into orbit and fill it full of tungsten rods that were 20 feet long and 1 foot in diameter, and then merely drop them on bad guys from outer space. The theory being that it would generate the same destructive force as a nuclear warhead, but it wouldn't have any radioactive fallout. Yeah, Uncle Sam's trying to have a vegetarian option for weapons of mass destruction. A vegan nuke, if you will. Because, well, it's never a war crime the first time. Can't be illegal if I just made it up. It takes a lot to surprise me when it comes to the American healthcare system, but even I'm surprised that they legitimately proposed making the grunt caveman version of the Death Star. Who needs a giant...
It doesn't surprise me at all. I'm a very scientific guy, as all my older audiences knows. Not older audiences, like my older subscribers, like who subscribed to me earlier. I don't know how to say that. Yeah. So I've said this in the past, right? In astronomer talk, right? High-speed collisions doesn't mean something that was collided at higher speed relatively. No, high-speed collisions means when an object has higher kinetic energy than its molecular bond. So, when it basically touches anything or hits with anything, it is going to explode instantly because all the kinetic energy is going to go into the object and will, destroy it from the molecular level, releasing all that energy, right? So when you see the moons, right? When you see the moon and you see all those craters, right? Why are all those craters perfectly round? None of them are elongated or anything. What if an asteroid comes at an angle? Why is it not elongated? Because it can't be elongated. As soon as it touches the ground, it explodes. And when it explodes, it's going to have explosion in equal directions. It's going to be a round crater, right? This is basically the same. Tungsten round having stronger, bond. tungsten round, when they throw it from that distance, will have enough kinetic energy, so when it touches the ground, will explode in a titanic energy, basically like a nuke, right? It will have that kind of energy when it explodes. So this is really interesting. Like I was saying in the past, like whenever you launch intercontinental ballistic missile, it doesn't have to have a nuke in it. It has such a high kinetic energy. When it touches anything, it will explode really high energy. But yeah, on top of that, you put nuke in it, so it will be like even bigger. That way, you can make a smaller nuke and smaller missile. It will have like significant enough yield.
Laser beam when you could just yeet metal telephone poles at people from outer fucking space, apparently. Yeet's not even the right term. They just gotta Elsa that shit. Let gravity do all the dirty work. But saying it has the same destructive power as a nuke is just simply not true. But a lot of people don't believe that thanks to movies like G.I. Joe and the Call of Duty Ghost video game that portrays it as being more powerful than a nuclear warhead. Which it's simply...
Let me think about it. I mean, no, it won't have like energy as nuke, but it will have significant energy that can cause destruction, right? I mean, it depends on how big of a rod it is, and yeah, I don't know, yeah. But there also to account for speed, like how much speed it's gonna carry. Yeah, I guess it can't be as nuke, unless you put proper. Yeah, they're talking about like dropping it, just like not increasing its speed in any way, just letting gravity do its thing. So yeah, you can't make that big. So yeah, it won't have like nuke-like power. It will be significantly destructive though.
Just isn't. Buh! How do you know? Buh! Fucking math. Math is how I know. Look, a 20-foot rod of tungsten that was 1 foot in diameter would weigh approximately 24,000 pounds. Propelled by nothing but gravity, it would travel at a speed of Mach 5. Upon impact, it would generate the destructive force of approximately 3 to 4 tons of TNT, which is about equivalent to that of the Moab bomb, or commonly referred to as the mother of all bombs, which is the largest non-nuclear bomb ever dropped. By America, of course. America! Fuck yeah! But when you compare that to an actual nuclear warhead, it's not even close. For example, Fat Man, one of the bombs dropped during World War II, had the destructive force of 20 kilotons of TNT. If you don't know, kilo means 1,000. I still have no idea what the fuck a meter is, though. Or a Celsius, for that matter. Quit measuring temperature based off water, it's dumb. Use Fahrenheit, it's the easiest thing on the planet. 0's cold as fuck, 100's hot as fuck. Hashtag science. So a rod from God would have the destructive force of...
Use Kelvin.
4 tons of TNT versus 20,000 tons of TNT of one of the earliest nuclear bombs ever used. So you're off by a factor of about 5,000. So if it's not as destructive as a nuclear warhead, what would the actual advantage be? Well, it would be virtually unstoppable. You see, with a Moab or a nuclear warhead, you...
Yeah. I don't think it would even have like high-speed collision element to it, right? Just by gravity. I don't know. I really have to look into it. But yeah, if it doesn't have higher kinetic energy than the molecular bond of it, yeah, it can't have that kind of high collision impact. But if it does, I don't know, like you have to put rockets on it or some shit. I don't know. But if it does, right, that would be catastrophic. So I don't know. Yeah, but Moab is not some, joke, right? That's also significant. So if you drop multiples of them, you would have enough destruction. You don't need to kill a city. Come on.
You either have to deliver it by plane or you have to use an ICBM. Obviously, you can shoot down planes, and there is a large array of different defenses against ICBMs. But there's really no modern defense method for somebody just dropping heavy shit on you from outer space. The classics are a classic for a reason. I mean, last I checked, the only way that we actually know of would be to hire Bruce Willis out of an oil field, teach him to become an astronaut, then send him and all of his friends up into outer space to blow it up before it could impact Earth.
And this is the best that the government, the U.S. government can come up with? Oh, Jesus. Damn it.
Given that a rod from God had impact...
Yeah, Armageddon is like one of the worst scientific movie of all time. Every time I watch it, I can just like see, oh, this is not right, this is not right, this is not right. I can't watch it because of it. But yeah. Okay, seriously, like I'm pretty sure, like, based on physics, we can create anti-weapons against this as well. But for that, you need to use it. For that, it has to be known. For that, it has to be a threat for somebody to create anti-defenses for it. But yeah.
Impact within 4 to 5 minutes of being released. I just don't think we have time for that. So that just leaves, do I think it's real? Absolutely not. You see, according to NASA, it takes $10,000 to move a single pound of cargo into outer space. A rod from God being approximately 24,000 pounds. You're looking at $240 million just to...
Yeah, look, if you're going to do all this shit, by that point, you're not going to worry about the whatever treaty you sign. Whoops, you're just gonna say that and just like, it's wartime. What do you want me to do? So you're pretty sure you put like rockets and nukes and everything to make it as most destructive as you can. And I'm pretty sure like you can improve ICBM technology, right? So any anti-air missile thing cannot touch it, or like make it stealthier in a way. Although even the missiles, right? It feels like, oh, how are you gonna do that? Yeah, that's the awesomeness of the physics. You can do that. But, trying to do this is like way too insane, right? Sending anything in space is like, why not throwing all your crap into the sun? Do you have any idea how much it would cost?
To get it into outer space, not including making it, or making the satellite, or maintaining it. So you're looking at roughly $1 trillion for 4 rounds of ammunition. And probably another...
And not to mention, satellites are not that untouchable. Somebody can take it over, right? Space is not close to you. Putting a weapon like that in space is risky.
trillion for the satellite. So really at that point the question becomes, do I think Uncle Sam would be willing to spend $2 trillion for 4 bullets just to avoid breaking a treaty from 1967? I'm gonna go with probably not. However, it's also important to mention that NASA believes that within the next couple of decades the cost of getting 1 pound of cargo into outer space will decline from $10,000 to $100. And if that becomes the case, this very well could become a possibility. And there very well could be a 4th category of weapon of mass destruction: nuclear, biological, chemical, and heavy shit. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at the Fat
I don't know about that $100. I don't know. I'm guessing because of the reusable rockets, it's going to decrease a lot, but it has to like get better. Congress needs to spend money with NASA. SpaceX has to do their thing. And don't like whatever progress that is happening. If it doesn't decline, then sure, you can have like $100 thing. By that point, it's going to be awesome. Again, envisaging like a 2 or 3 decades from now, people will like, where are you going? I'm going trip to the Mars or trip to the moon. Why? Because rockets are like safer now. And I can afford it apparently, right? If I can afford to travel the world, I can afford to go to the moon type of way. It was like rockets are dangerous. Yeah, so were the airplanes. Airplanes used to be insanely unsafe when it started. But look at that now. Compared to all the flight that happened, how many of them crashes? Rockets going to be something similar in the future. Yeah. Rebel, if you like my reaction, subscribe. If you haven't seen other Electrician reactions from me, check out the cards right now, I guess. I have Instagram now. If you want to follow me, only social media that I personally use for my personal things. I have Twitter, but I only post like links from the videos or something. So yeah, Instagram link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.